don't know if that's going to change or not, or if I'm going to have to restart the whole stream quick. All right, there, Tadico. Let's see. All right, see if that fixes that. Change the keyframe frequency, but of course it's probably not going to change anything until I start moving around. So we need to move those, move that, put the old detonator on the ground there. Oh, crap. Son of a gun. I screwed up, chat. I screwed up, chat. I should have pulled all that shit off the other tractor, off the other loader. Rip. Rip. Ripperoni on that one. There we go. Hopefully that helps. Still tweaking settings over there on YouTube, but hopefully that helps. I've also, you guys will have to keep an eye on things and let me know. I tweaked the streams again. When I had gone to OBS initially, I was having issues with 60 frames a second. It didn't like it. So I'd gone down to 30 frames a second. I've now gone back to 60 frames a second streaming. So I have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. It's really bumpy through there still. I have to fix that. But this will be good. We'll drop the new wheel loader in. We've got explosives. I'll have to check the height to the tunnel because as you've seen, I was doing an uppercut and then coming back and cutting the floor back down. Sorry to hear that there, Dadson. Appreciate the lurk though, good buddy. So let's initially spawn in ye old beast. Aw, you miserable bitch. You miserable bitch. Alright, bulk dirt it is. We need... like so. Need light position 1. 4. 6. LED bar goes in 7. 8. it should be 12 for the beacon bar. $18. There, something like that. Alright. Let's go check our height. Yeah, we get the big boy now. Alright, we can pretty much... I'm still going to have to... Yeah, we're still going to have to bench this in a little bit. I'm not going to reach the ceiling from here with this one. So why'd you go to that one versus the other one, chat? Well, because this will help with our residential projects. And will eventually get replaced in the mine itself with one of the LWs. No, don't cut like that, you damn thing. I'm also going to need to roll that back smooth again, so let me take another shave or so out of here. We will adjust the ramp. Because the important part before we can really get tearing back into this tunnel is we need the Jaw Crusher and Fractioner, which I couldn't afford while picking up this at the same time. But it's not like I don't have plenty of gold bars left in the queue, so to speak. So we'll cut a little bit more of the floor out. I'll fix the ramp back up. Ah, Jesus. I think we do have to cut a little bit out of here, because if I were to climb up to that upper... Yeah. So we're going to have to clean a little further back anyway. So while we're doing this, because it's a little more delicate, keeping this, height, trying to keep a better height on the tunnel, the gold can process when we get to that back wall. We will make another quick run to town, grab the Jaw Crusher Fractioner. We're gonna need some additional belting and stuff like that, so we can get all that set to go. We'll come over here, give an upgrade to the temporary plant. And we'll also be able to pick up, I need to pick up more barrels to get the oil derrick at the factory going in water. Call that one a water derrick. We'll be able to get that one rolling. I'll cut a little bit out. I won't cut all the way down to the bottom of where we need to be. That can be a final deal. But I will at least cut it down enough so I'm not going to hit the roof in the tunnel on the cross members. Alright. YouTube is looking better now. It's not giving me the whole keyframe bullshit. Quality's looking like it's decent across everything so far. It's good. A little bit further, we'll get the roller in there, call it a day. Start really tearing into that solid rock. Oh, and of course, yeah. I love that you buy these things with a frickin' quarter tank of fuel.
So Steam remote
good morning.
play. Good morning.
I'm gone. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Oh, Cope, you never come hang out and chat. We've been here for an hour and you ignored us.
Maybe I wanted to wake up first before dealing with your surly ass.
Me? You're the instigator, you and Vito.
Right. That's not what he said.
I got Tatico on my side.
Yeah, well, it's still 2-1. Vito
Tatico.
and Darius against you know.
Tatico's like, why does everybody blame me?
Oh, I didn't blame you. I didn't blame Talico at all. Hey, Sir Welshie. It's alright, I was getting the blame in split stream last night. people buying the game.
Oh yeah, it's I've seen also on their
Man.
Discord they blame you.
Split is the man. He had 65 people subscribe to him on YouTube yesterday. 65 in
Yeah.
in one setting.
Yeah,
I wish that I could grow my channel like that, man, but I'm just boring to everybody.
I had similar growths during the FS22 release. Remember, Cope? I got like 1,600 follows in a month and a half.
Well,
Don't know why.
I wanted
Hey.
to stream today, but Dave was streaming, you were streaming, Average Viking was streaming, and then Utterly was streaming, and then Herbal Farmer and all the people from the Crusaders
that
started
stop you.
streaming. Well, there ain't nobody gonna watch me if they're watching everybody else that's in our
You don't know
Crusader
that.
team.
You don't know
I
that.
watch you.
You don't know that, Cope.
Tatico, you would bail on me for Darius any day.
That's the thing, Cope. You don't know that. Until you stream, you don't know that. There could be somebody that dead set against watching anybody else but you.
Oh, I know.
But
I'm
you know
just
what?
picking
At the end of
you.
the day, just hit the button.
Who cares? Just hit the
Keep
button.
three. Yeah,
Get
just
wrecked.
hit the button.
Get wrecked.
I mean, like me, I'll stream. I don't care who else is streaming.
I know. I heard you last night.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
I
I'm
was
good
awake,
by the-
and I figured since I was awake, I'd go ahead and hit the button.
Yeah.
That's what you said this morning.
Well, technically yesterday morning for me.
So you want to know what I did?
Broke it?
He has a good story.
I have to start a new game save.
Not surprised. That's
No,
a recurring
I,
theme with you.
I got to messing around in the store, and I wanted to blow some shit up. So I bought one of them, the biggest nuclear one it looks like.
The plowshare, yeah.
I set two of them down right on the top over where my mine is, over top of where you are right now. I set two of them down, and then I went back over to where I'm dumping my ore in the thing, and that whole area is gone. It's one
Yeah.
big round, looks like a meteor hit.
Yeah, but I'm not near the store, Cope.
No, you're in the mine. Oh,
No,
that's
I'm-
right.
I-
You're in the you're at the bottom of the hill.
I'm way off of. Okay, so this is town. You have to
Yeah,
go way the fuck over here.
I know where you're at. I was watching you this morning.
So I'm not exactly
I
next
was-
door, Cope.
Well, I was thinking that you were at the starting mine.
Nope. It looks similar because it's done out of wood, but I ain't near the starting area.
I love the way you did the wood inside, man. That looks awesome. Kind of like you got.
That's what
like,
chat voted for.
It's kind of like it's got a like bracing going across beams.
Yeah, well, it's the only beams we got, and they would brace tunnels. I'm sorry, there,
I'm on my
Darius.
new-
I'll move.
I'm on my new game save. I'm making a mining tunnel like in the old days. Remember in the westerns how they used to go in and it was only big enough for a cart to go in?
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do that, but once you get in, like once you go like say 70 feet into my mine, it's going to open up into a big giant area, and I'm going to spawn the mining loader in here and then start digging. I just got to figure out a way how to get the ore out of here. Unless I could probably run it right along the where I go in at and come out and go into a storage box. Or hell, for that matter, if I can make it big enough, I could just put a hopper and a storage box in there.
yeah, you
inside
could.
the inside the mine. You still there, Tatico?
Oh, I'm still here. Just
I'm
focused on
sorry,
using
man.
a crater.
I talk too much.
There,
no.
there.
There's nobody
You're going
talking
up
with me on the
here.
daytime besides you guys, so well, the little one, but I
Well,
don't understand what he's saying.
Darius is streaming. I don't want to. I don't
Like
want to blow his stream
that,
up.
there. That there.
Sit here and watch Darius so I
Right,
can learn
1,
how to do stuff.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is gonna be a post, dummy. That's gonna be a post, dummy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there where that rock is.
Okay, I've dug a tunnel in that's about the size of my body. If I throw a whole bunch of dynamite on the end of this tunnel, will it blow it open?
Depending on the kind of dynamite.
Did you mean to do that?
What, explode this?
Oh yeah, that's why I was asking because I want to do that. I'm gonna blow up the end of this tunnel.
I have to, Cope. It's solid rock now.
Oh well, I'm just having fun and blowing shit up.
I'm at solid rock. I've got no choice.
What is the best dynamite? The ANFO, Dynamex, or the TNT?
RDX. RDX is deceptive. It's got the gray color, so you would think it's deletion like the Draymite, but it's
Well,
not.
there's
RDX is 8.
RDX and there's Drymite.
Draymite will delete only.
Okay, so I need to use the RDX?
Depends on the size of how big of a hole you want. And again, Anfo... Hold on a second. There are Anfo, Dynamex, TNT, RDX. These 4 at the top here. 6, 6.5, 7, 8 meter diameter explosions. But they'll drop the voxels on the ground that will then remerge. If you want to open an area to start working, Draymite will just delete a 6 meter diameter area and not leave anything on the ground. So Draymite will open it up faster. There we go. All right.
Okay.
I guess before I get too much further, we need to make another store run, chat. I need to go get the materials for the... This is split a tester for gamer. Just for a lot of... He is a tester for this game, CJ. He's gonna
split.
Yeah, he's gonna dev version of the
Yes.
game. He does a lot of testing for it. But
He's
split doesn't
he's the
necessarily...
official tester. And
No, he's not the
also-
official. He's not the official. He is a official tester.
Just don't call him the PNR guy. He don't like that.
No, that's just a meme at this point. He's just not listening to this guy. Go hard attack, yeah. Don't know if you can spawn a vehicle in a tunnel. Would probably end up on the surface above. That's a very likely possibility, Reed, unless you have
We're
a
fixing to
very
find out.
massive area.
We're fixing
You'd-
to find out because I'm fixing.
You'd
to do
probably
it.
have to let off a plowshare underneath the ground to be able to get that spawned in there. I'm just telling you. You need a large area to be able
Okay,
to
that's-
spawn a vehicle.
I need to put more in because that didn't open it up very much. So I'll put another one here. Ow! A bunch of rocks fell on my head.
Yeah, because you don't have anything on the roof.
I'll take care of that in just a minute. I got
Dirt
one
road.
more blast to do.
Help me, Creole. Treat your ride. Set down, cellar. that. Let's go in here. Make about 30 beams. The rest plates. Grab the plates we do have. Put them into here. Alright. Oh. Hey, dummy. Come over here. Planks. And let's go a wall.
You know what would be nice?
That'll work, I guess. What's that, Tatico?
You know we have the barrels and oil, and you mentioned oil refinery to make fuel. Fuel barrels would be nice as well.
Well, you can buy you can buy fuel barrels.
Barrels?
Yeah, you can buy fuel barrels in the store already.
What? Oh, it is. Never mind. But if I put this one, can I fill from this one into the vehicle?
I don't think so. They're in the game. I don't know what their purpose is currently.
I'm gonna try that.
I just know that they're in the game. I don't know what purpose they serve.
Because that would be amazing, because I don't want to put the fuel station everywhere where I dig. I just want to, like, you know, put it in the truck and drive it to the vehicle and fill it up there.
Well, like, I've got a fuel barrel at my factory, which wouldn't be uncommon. And then I have my truck for doing the remote fueling. So, yeah, I'm just going to treat it when I actually do get around to doing the larger equipment in the mines out in that little valley I'm in. I'll do a, you know, like the wheel loaders, the big wheel loaders can be driven back to the fuel barrel, not a problem. But like the excavator, I'll do a start of day fueling, which is how they would do it. You know, start of every shift, they'd bring the old fuel truck out, just go to town on them because they take a ton of fuel, if not multiple times a shift for those things. But
do they have the refinery for it?
For making fuel barrels? No.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like the jewelry or the rubies and stuff, had been missing. But there's no use right now, really, unless you were able to fill out of it. I don't think there's a use currently for it.
Yeah, it would be nice if it would be able to use on the vehicles.
Yeah, I don't know if you can or not.
I have built it, but currently it doesn't seem that we can.
Yeah, I didn't think you could. Production. We needed the fractionor. We needed the jaw crusher. I probably need another conveyor up as well. Let's see. So a conveyor up to that. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Do I bother with a sorter right now? So if I do that, how do I... Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is going to be temporary, so I guess that'll work.
I like that they have fixed the splitting.
That'll work, I guess, for now. Yeah, I'm gonna be redesigning my the drop off at my factory too. When I get around to probably after the point I get this tunnel done, I'll be redesigning the drop. Oh, I forgot barrels. Whatever. I'll be redesigning the whole drop off point. After listening to Split last night and everything else, it's kind of like, yeah, that would make sense to do it a different way. So I'm gonna be redesigning that whole part. I know I need to get an excavator in there and trench that all and do everything else. So there'll be a rebuilding of the plant using the current footprint anyway. Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of playing with an idea in my head. It's way overkill. Way overkill. I kind of like the idea. Alright, I need to stop messing around and actually roll that smooth. I keep forgetting to go roll that. But, you know, thinking ahead to multiplayer. Thinking ahead to multiplayer. Gonna have more material coming in more consistently if you have a rock truck driver and you get somebody digging and doing all that stuff. So it would make sense to have more throughput. Yeah, that might be what I end up doing. Now I'm beginning to wonder if I've got enough room in the fucking plant for it. Oh, I could do that. Do that, I guess. Good morning there, Bet Gaming. Walked in and your interest has been raised. Oh, yeah, because we were having a discussion about the explosives in Out of Ore. As to which ones are the best for what uses. That'll work. That's better. I'll have to hand paint in a little bit there. Well, maybe I'll just run out one more truck along that edge. I'll probably need like 4 more trucks of dirt, which I won't really get to till the other side anyway, but... Alright. I need to put this there, that there. Oh, I gotta sell that dummy at some point. That conveyor up. Fractioner. Hey, chameleon. Off I go, diggy diggies. Alright there, chameleon, you take care. Use the massive thermal charger. Well, that's what it is. Right? If you're talking about the Plowshare, it was actually Operation Plowshare was a U.S. Um, experiment in using small yield nuclear devices for aquifer mining, which yeah, great idea there, Chief, and like clearing of. It's gonna go off to the wrong direction, isn't it? Yes, it is. I guess we're just gonna slap the storage on the end. So it is an actual device that was developed by the U.S. military. Naturally, it's a good idea. You know, it's a good thing they didn't follow through with it. Can you imagine? In you go, blasted rock. See, I would love to see, because right now the cone crusher doesn't really have a use. Unless you just want gravel. I would love to see that used for processing the solid rock. Yeah, if you can wait for the fallout to clear. Keyword. Oops. Alright, at that height, I should hopefully still be able to get this done. Good morning there, Uncle Henry. How you doing, buddy? This one's so much faster than the other truck, or the other loader. This is making things so much faster to get in and out of there. Yeah, there's a lot of progress I made on this last night. I hit solid rock last night. So now we're in the rock. Of course, this also means, too, that I am going to have to get rid of the truck I've got for hauling material. As it won't be big enough to try and really dump in with this thing. I would spill more than I'd get in the truck. Alright, have a good day at school, bud. Yeah, we're a good bit into the hillside. I can show you on the ceiling where we're at, actually, too. You look right... We're right in this area here. I didn't even notice it initially when I started digging. But you can see there's a bit of a dark spot right here. This is that coal vein that's touching the edge of the tunnel. Right here. So we're into here already. Building a mountain road to a nice looking mining location. Nice, Vet Gaming. Bally, how you doing this morning? Pre-roll ads are active. I did do it, chat. Finally. I remembered this morning. I took the ads off. As long as the community support continues the way it has been, then I will go community. I'll do that and say screw Twitch and their 3 minutes worth of ads every hour. So, use the rebar grids for the cliff supports. Nice. There you go. I'm all over the place backing into shit. Nightfall. And to add trees to the Alpine map. Yeah. They really do need to add trees to that map. Probably the only reason I haven't tried to play it is it feels too barren. All my blueprints are here. Yeah, that'll happen, Zodiac. There's a bunch of blueprints I had looked at for vanilla after I heard that the expansion was coming out. I just gotta double check to make sure none of them have had updates or anything like that. But I had kind of started planning ahead for this. I know, like, Life Force and Entei. Trivium 420, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, Veldian. Good morning to you as well. And yeah, you feel like you're getting punched in the nuts in every way, because yeah, I mean, that one's tough. It doesn't really set you up for success very well, you know? You can't right now, Bully. The steel mesh is not something that can be made currently. Just like you can only make one kind of concrete right now, you can't make the polished or rough concrete. You can only make the regular concrete. So, Infectious anyway was on the stream from Alfred last night. Only me, but hey, he was enjoying himself. Build a road to the mine. Nice. Okay, I split yesterday. You said it's in the workbench. Yeah, the steel mesh rebar isn't in the workbench as far as I can tell, unless it's in one of like the CNC mill or something like that. He did a video on it right when they first came out as to what was available. Now, granted, some stuff has been added, but most of what's in that video should still be there, so it could be in one of the workbenches I don't have. And you have no alternative but to dig deep. So grind for hours. Or pay 12,000 for 11 blocks. Yeah, I mean, it is gonna be a slog for the blocks. Even though you can now make them. But it gives you something to do with the gravel other than just sell the gravel. Yeah, it probably still needs some balancing, Moss Frog. Like Split said yesterday, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be balanced, economy-wise and so on. So, finding a better balance probably isn't, out of the question. But it's also one of those things later on, too, like, I know on my other map there, when I was going through the tunnel, I had so much gravel. So, well, because I'm in an active mine site and there's nobody here. It's a Sunday at the mine, and I'm the only worker here, so yeah, I can't afford lights there. 187. As expensive as they are, I can't afford those right now. It would be nice to have some, sure, but they're like crazy expensive. Every other map has plenty of trees. You can make the wood beams, quickly make supporting structure. Well, yeah. Like I said, the Alpine map doesn't leave you much because it's wide open. There's no trees, there's no nothing. But I don't know if they're gonna do anything about it, honestly. Yeah, they're $1,500 a wall light. Mm-hmm. Sure is. Now, when the mine, when it's done, yeah, I'll probably add them in. Once we're through the other side, granted, I've got what 3,500 gold bars being processed currently. So there will come a point where I will have that money, no issue, to do that. But until then, you know, I'm trying to be smarter about where I'm spending my money. And now that I've gotten the bigger loader, I need to look at a bigger truck for moving material. Bolly says, bless you, dear. So yeah, there's a lot of upgrades we need to make. There's a lot of things that need to be done for sure. $147 a piece. They sell for about 147 bucks a piece, but like I said, I need to buy an excavator. That's $350,000. And I need to get probably this one here. So if you add that and that together, $1,000,000. No, it doesn't. Like I said to Mossfrog, there's a lot of, especially when it comes to the economy, balancing things that need to be done. There was a lot that changed in this last update, so I know there hasn't been any balancing passes done yet as far as the economy goes. And to be honest with you, I don't think the testers were as concerned with that. They were worried about, you know, they were worried more about getting it in. And the wall lights have always been that expensive, 187. They've always been really expensive. The you got to remember, before this workbench update came in, there was no making gold bars. So the price of some ores and bars and stuff like that was adjusted with the workbench update, but they didn't do all of the existing part. And for a lot of this, you also got to remember, they had to have some form of a money sink, because you would make so many millions upon millions of dollars with nothing to spend it on later on. So, Koshi, they fixed the hitboxes. Yes, I did see that on the patch list yesterday. And like you said, I didn't expect it either until the next patch came out. I didn't expect it at all. Well, I say next patch, but the machines started to come into the game, which I'm guessing may be next patch. But maybe those are further down the line for the better vehicles. You know, maybe the other vehicles are gonna come first, and those are further down the line. You know, like I don't know which order they worked on those vehicles, right? So it could be that those are still a long ways down the line for coming out. Are they? Nice. Yeah, it'll be a while before I can afford those, so I have to go blast the wall here a little bit. Take some more coal out of that edge. Do another blast, because I've about gotten through a good chunk of the, Or else we're gonna have to get in there and roll before I can smooth the floor out. Hey, Crisis. How you doing? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, like, if I were to go make some steel products and sell them, we'd be rolling in dough. But I can't justify, given the constraints on the playthrough, selling a bunch of steel products when I still have all that factory that needs to be finished. You know, all these other projects, I can't justify just selling a bunch of steel stuff instead of, oh, excuse me, putting the steel to making more of my factory. And because it's a survival, you know, I'm trying to do a survival style play, I'm only buying things I can't otherwise make. And I'm not gonna go crazy selling products like, you know, wood blocks and things like that. Yeah, I know you can make an absurd amount of money doing it. But as I've agreed, you know, as I've said, and as Chad has agreed, the wood blocks will only be sold as a way of repaying my investment in these projects, so that I can work on either A, the next project, or B, you know, building the next structure or whatever it comes into. Like, all of these wood blocks will get paid out for the materials, not necessarily the blocks themselves, but the materials. I'll get paid out for that when the job is done. But that's gonna be, you know, when the job is done. We've got a long ways to go. I'm not even at the halfway point of this tunnel yet. So in the meantime, yes, I'm making money off the gold bars, which is what allowed me to upgrade the wheel loader. And you guys voted that I could put the little plant here instead of having to put it, you know, truck everything, which I'm thankful for, because that would have sucked. That would have sucked a lot. So we're just kind of making the best we can out of all this. Ah! Still getting used to the bigger loader. It's so much faster and bigger. that this tunnel doesn't fit very well. Alright, let's get in the tunnel. We will put in the next bit of ceiling. I do got to extend out the ceiling before it starts to collapse on us. Alright, and we gotta put some more walls in. There and there. I see how it is. Cope gives me a hard time about not hanging out and chat with him. And then he goes all quiet on me.
I don't want to interrupt your stream.
Give me shit about not coming in here and, you know, hanging out with you, and then you get all quiet.
I'll
figured
tell
you
you
fell
like
asleep.
I'll tell you like Allison tells me, we're in the same stream.
Let's see.
She tells me we're in the same house. We don't have to be stuck up each other's ass. And I'm like, really?
Let's put you here, here, there, there. The blast.
Do you use grid?
When I'm doing those, no.
Always great.
Nope. The only thing I've built on grid so far has been my factory. my factory and laying out the retaining wall behind it. Nothing else has been built on grid. Not a single thing has been built on grid besides that. I just guess. Alright, in a wide open area, I would definitely not be in the cab. But given this tunnel, we're gonna go in cab. Yep. The wood does make it look good. I think for this one, yeah, it's meant to be a smaller tunnel. If it were a bigger equipment tunnel, I would probably go with a combination of mesh and concrete and so on. So, yeah. It's looking good. It's getting there. Yeah, I'd love to see, like, the cone crusher take solid stone as one of its inputs to process it. Because it's... unless you're just trying to make straight gravel, it doesn't really have a use currently. You know, I mean, if you want the other materials that you can get from doing the blasted rock through the fractioner, then you can't use the cone crusher. If you intend on using the fractioner, which I can't see why you wouldn't for the other materials it gives you, then there's no point using the cone crusher. So I think it would be nice to see that possibly do the Um, solid stone, or even the jaw crusher, solid stone and blasted rock to crushed rock.
Now you said you're in bedrock. How are you digging that? Did you blow it up first?
Yeah, that's why it looks like the.
Oh, okay.
That's why it looks like that. I've been having to blow it up.
Okay, sorry.
That's why it gives it that fraction. It looks a little different than the iron veins. A little less white in and around it. So,
Well, that was quite an annoying bug.
what'd you find?
When I placed down the floor to measure out the level, and I took the scoop with the wheel loader. After that first scoop, none of the machinery would cut through anything around it. Like just solid top layer.
Yeah, it's the dirt bug. It can trigger at any time. I know Split says a lot of times it happens when you've made a lot of voxels and stuff like that, but I've had it trigger with, much sooner than that.
Oh, I just had like first scoop of top layer, so there was nothing.
I've had it kick in the minute I logged in only on one piece of equipment. Before I did anything else. On that one piece of equipment it was happening. So I don't know, I think there's a little more to that bug than just the voxels.
Yeah,
Like you said, it just sometimes the dirt becomes like impenetrable.
Because as soon as I jumped into the dozer, I can move all this ground around. So dozer fixes that bug, so to say.
Well, something else I've noticed too, especially like in a tunnel, and you get the solid stone, like the solid feeling to the top. Sometimes digging under it will make it go away. Other times I've seen if you go from bulk mode to voxel mode, it will knock that down. No problem. So it's like the bulk mode itself doesn't want to pick it up, but you go into voxel mode and it works no problem.
Yeah.
So I mean that's always something else to try too. Is every now and then if it's acting like that, do that. But
Swap between the modes.
Yep. Quick swap between the modes. Hit the spot, hit the offending piece of ground, blow it up, and then afterwards go back. Yeah, Cone Crusher becoming a workbench turns solid stone into gravel. That'd be a possibility. Or maybe even, maybe just give us a workbench or something like that. But it would make sense given the nature of a jaw crusher or a cone crusher for it to be able to process solid stone. I know blasted stone is what they've got on there, but it's not exactly like it's very fractured in a lot of cases. The material that goes into those crushers is still really large. But, who knows what they're going to come out with in the future. Maybe we end up with a mobile crushing plant, type vehicle. That would be pretty badass, where it's got the, you feed the material in, then it spits it out in a couple different lines that you could put hoppers underneath, and I think that would be freaking awesome. So yeah, we're solidly into that mountain now. We are solidly into it now, chat. Phil Mining Sim has some cool low profile. There's some of those in this one too there, Henry.
Darius, I have a new job for you.
Nope, don't want it.
Tomorrow morning, you got to get up, look up Unreal 5, and learn everything there is about it. Because next year, you're going to make a game for me and Tatico called
Get bent? What?
What? I thought he said get wrecked. I was like, what?
I said get bent. So, might as well call it get wrecked.
No, Junkyard Simulator.
They already have something like that, Cope.
We already have that one.
No, they don't. I'm talking about you got to have everything. You got to have the excavator with the big magnet that picks the car up and puts it in the car crusher.
You can
Yeah,
get right
they have
on
that
it.
game. I've been playing that game. Drive around, collect junk. It's already there.
And Darius is going to make millions and share it with me.
Nope.
Nope.
See, I can do some coding, but like I don't have the patience to learn Unreal because the problem is while I am kind of invested in it mentally, it becomes taxing on me mentally, and then I just get the pain goes up, and I can't do it.
Oh, come on. This coming from a guy that I watched in 3 different streams for almost 10 hours in Blender working on a dump truck. You could do it, Darius. You just got to set
Once
your mind
upon
to
a
it.
time. Yeah, you know where that dump truck project is right now? In the fucking trash can. Because I don't know how to fix it.
Look,
can't.
don't get
Dump
up. Don't get
So
upset.
it's-
I'm trying to boost your spirits.
Yeah, and it's not working. I there's a reason I stopped modding. When was the last time you
Yeah.
saw me modding, Cope?
The last thing I saw you mod was when you were working on your 16x map.
Yeah, and I stopped
Oh, that was
working on
fun.
that.
Oh, no.
I did a little bit of work on the Western Star, but guess what? It's never been released because nobody's got that version but the few people that I was told to give it to. How much all is done in this game? How's it going there, Jagger? You can do pretty much everything in this game when it comes to mining. Equipment ranges from really small to massive. You can tunnel, you can open pit, you can do road building projects and stuff. The game's still in development, so there's a lot changing with it, but there is a lot you can do in this game.
And believe me, they change it fast.
Yep. Major patches
your
every
normal
month,
games.
basically.
And hot fixes the next day as soon as they have a little collection of bugs.
Yep. Yeah, there's a
Some
reason I
games you wait
stopped
for
doing so
months.
much modding. As it is, I'm gonna run out of meds before my renewal comes in because I've been having to take them so much. So if I disappear for a week at the end of the month, chat, nothing personal.
I really like this 500 or 501. It reminds me of the Volvo on Farm Sim. I just love the look of it.
Yeah, I go with the 500 versus the 501 because the 500 has the tooth bucket instead of the smooth bucket. It's the only difference between the two. And this is essentially the bucket I use in Farm Sim from the Volvo 350
Yeah.
that works with Terraform.
So where did Arvik come from? Is that just a nickname they gave the machines?
It's something he made
Arvik
up.
is actually a city in Sweden. Arvika. I don't know if it's anything to relate it to. I just live there. I just know that Arvika is a city in Sweden.
That's
Might be some
probably likely.
relation.
I was gonna
Is
say
it-
the guy. Well, he's Christian is from Sweden, ain't he?
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, otherwise, unless it's related to the city, it's just something made up. It could be that he liked the name of the city. Who knows? But that's the only relation
I-
I've seen outside of this. I even Googled it at one point.
I love his game. His game is awesome. And that message that you sent me earlier, Darius,
Mm-hmm.
I do have that game, and I tried to play it a little bit today, and I came back to Out of War.
Yeah, well, in my opinion,
didn't
between
realize-
Gold Rush and Out of War is
Yeah, I
better.
didn't realize I had it because I've got so many games that Allison has bought me, and a lot of them are not installed on my hard drive. So I had
Yeah.
to look in my list of the gray ones, and I actually did have it. I didn't think I had it.
Yeah, I heard you. I saw you type it in chat, the split. But the other thing about Gold Rush is dealing with the mats and stuff like that. I know you have really shaky hands, which can make
Yeah.
things really tough for you. And with the mats and shit like that, you got to be really precise with placing that shit.
Oh, if that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's don't get me wrong, I've played a lot of Gold Rush. I've enjoyed Gold Rush in the past, but it's I prefer this over Gold Rush. Mainly because I want to be able to set up where I want, how I want. I love that freedom. I can build how I want. I can dig where I want. I can dig the way I want. And I'm not constrained to a specified small area.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the roadmap, going back to Christian's roadmap, I would love to see in the prospecting update that maybe the dirt changes a little bit to have streaks where the gold would be better versus other places. Kind of like Gold Rush, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe prospecting just becomes a way of us finding the minerals, because I do know that he has talked about changes to the way ore veins are going to run. They won't necessarily just run straight down in the shape of whatever they are on the surface. In fact, we may not necessarily see them on the surface all the time. So we'll have to prospect more for them. That might be what's coming in that one, but who knows? That could change between then and now, because I'm pretty sure the whole roadmap's changed with the push on multiplayer. Yeah, Gold Rush, don't get me wrong, Gold Rush was good, and in a lot of ways there are some pretty cool phases of it. I love, you know, setting up the wash plants and stuff like that, but saying you have to set the wash plant up here and only here, and it has to go, you know, just in these places, I think really limits you. Whereas this game, you have the freedom to set up kind of whatever you want, wherever you want. So, Christian lives. Yeah, well, that's what Tatico was just saying there, Zodiac. Arvika. Which makes me wonder too, when you look at the store, the Sheridan, the Legaus, all of these are made up Emilians. They're all pretty much made up brands. Where was his inspiration for the names? You know, just me wondering what the inspiration might have been for some of those.
I wonder if it's the same Christian that I know from Arvika.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, they used to work with him. He was on the excavator on that moment.
Ah, well, Christian is a heavy equipment operator.
But I mean, Christian, then again, is quite common name in Sweden.
But when you start to narrow down how many Christians from Arvik are heavy equipment operators...
Yes, exactly. So, could be.
Maybe just send him a DM at one point and say, hey, I used to work with someone from such and such, and, you know, I'm curious if maybe there's a correlation.
12 years ago?
You never know.
Never know.
Hey, stranger shit's happened. All I'm gonna say. Alright, let's roll the floor in here, because it's starting to get a little bumpy, making things difficult on us. We're about back to the solid rock face, so we're gonna have to blast again. Copying all your keybinds from Gold Rush to Out of Ore. Nice. I saw last night during Split Stream you picked it up there, Joe. I think you're gonna like it. Honestly, if somebody plays Gold Rush and they like it, I can't see why they wouldn't enjoy this game. Just for the freedoms this allows you, it's so worth picking this one up. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for this, because I think now one thing that Gold Rush will never do that I think is going to really hell? Oh, sorry, Chad. If my frickin' sound's been all screwy, the cat stepped on the goddamn.
I was like, ow.
Was that the sensor ring or something?
No, my cat stepped on the frickin' denoise filter.
Oh yeah.
His hearing aid battery went off. That's what it is.
That was pretty heavy.
Well, I just looked down and I noticed, I'm going like, why is the volumes all screwy this morning? Cat stepped on the damn thing. Sorry, chat. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't notice the cat had stepped on the damn sound card in his stomping back and forth. Yeah. He stepped on the denoise filter. So when I turned it off, it probably made a noise. I apologize for that. Put that... Well, I didn't even hear it, so I'd have to go back and look and see what sound it is you're talking about.
Oh, that was hard to describe.
And now you have me curious.
No, I got an idea. How about we don't hear what it sounds like?
But I want to know. Curious.
Well, play it for you and not us, because that was pretty loud.
Well, Christian is a heavy equipment operator.
It's quite common name.
One point and say, hey. You never know.
Never know.
I'm gonna say. Things difficult. So binds from Gold Rush to Out of Ore. Nice. I saw last night during Split Stream you picked it up there, Joe. If somebody enjoy this game, it's so worth picking this one. Future holds for this, because I think is going to Yep. Flatline. Huh. Now I know what it sounds like. See? I can get fancy with that shit because I'm live on YouTube, and YouTube lets you do that. One thing I think YouTube has over Twitch is, at least with YouTube, you can scroll back the video in case you missed a conversation or missed a response from somebody. You can scroll it back and listen to what they said. It's a nice little benefit. And granted, there's only 2 people watching over there, but I appreciate the support. There. Ooh, I apologize, chat. Ooh. Damn vehicles are thirsty for fuel. How big's that fuel truck again? Like, I remember it was like 4,500 liters. I've already taken like a third of that off just digging this tunnel. How crazy is that? There we go. How are we looking over here? Got a fair amount of gravel. Got some pay dirt. Getting the silver ore, copper ore. Still getting aluminum, iron. Got a lot of coal. We should probably head over to our factory quick. I'll grab what we've got in here. We'll head over to the factory. So curl in and curl out. The thing to keep in mind when you're setting the controls up on like the excavator, you have a curl in and curl out here are your bucket curls. You gotta see what's being highlighted here. Then you have a bucket open and close. This bucket open and close is for the front shovels. On the excavators here, you have some of these that are these front shovels where you'll scoop in, go over the top, and then open that bucket up. So your curl in, curl out is the bucket curl, and then the open and close is on these front shovels. You just hit 13, nice. Doing the log slog to your first loader. Yeah, I enjoyed the gold bar one. Oh, the long slog. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I know some people have been doing the, you know, making wooden stuff or what have you, as far as getting through that early stages. But honestly, I enjoyed that that grind with the pick. That was pretty fun. There really isn't a thumb per se, Joe, but yeah, it would be the equivalent of like using a thumb. None of the excavators actually have a thumb, but the front shovels have a hinged bucket. Let's see if I can show it. Front shovel excavator. So you got these front shovels, they pick up the material like that, and if you look on here, there's a hinge. No, that's not where I wanted to be. There's a good picture of it. There's a hinge right here, a hydraulic hinge that lets this open at this point here. So when you're doing the front shovels, the bucket open and closes for this bucket here. Now, I'll warn you that they are, I think, still bugged a little bit. What happens is because this is your pickup edge up here, it also happens to be the dumping edge. So when you open the bucket, it tends to like fountain the material out of the top here instead of dropping it out the bottom. So they don't load the cleanest. How cool would one of these be? One of those style front shovels. More of the cable style front shovel. But yeah, I think Christian did a really good job with highlighting, you know, on the little 2D picture, what operates what, which is really nice. Yeah, I got a fair amount of cement getting ready to go there, chat. Alright, so we got some solid rock, we got some of that left over, we've got some bars there. Let's go beams. Walls, we got planks now. Let's do another floors like that. Huh? Alright, there's that going, there's that going. We are definitely going to need more. Oh, we got 99 barrels in there already. That'll work. I wish it defaulted to this production tab instead of the inventory. I think that'd be nice. But yeah, this area here I'm going to change. It's going to move over here instead. Actually, it might end up over here.
Beaver.
Tend to be there, Uncle Henry. I tend to be. I might move it over here, honestly. Put the hopper here, and then the conveyors can just run underneath. We'll move the fuel barrel up over here. In this area somewhere, and I may bring this front edge further out. I might bring the front edge more over here. We can put the hopper in the corner, bring the front concrete edge to like here. Then I can put the fuel barrel on a pad actually right here. We leave the ramp there. I'll have to carve a little bit of this out and slope it better, but we can put our dump pit right here in this corner.
Wow.
It was pretty good, Henry. Let's be honest. Is that a Mustang on your hood, or are you just happy to see me? What you didn't see off the clip, Henry, is that I actually started driving away with the Mustang still on the hood. Skull and Bones, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen some people with some early access previews to it and stuff, and I don't know, it doesn't interest me because it's more MMO style crap. Now, don't get me wrong, if it was more of like a small co-op style gameplay for that one, then I might be more interested in it. But I'm too fucking old to deal with trolls. I've had my fucking fill of the little bastards, so fuck them. Coming from a guy that used to do nothing but be a fucking troll in multiplayer games. You know, eventually you just reach that old cynical age where you're like, fuck them, I don't care. I've got better things to do with my life than deal with fucking trolls. Which my wife found way too funny. I love you too, woman. Alright, I'll fracture it up some more. We're getting ready to start moving past this coal deposit, which means we'll be more into solid rock, so stick around with me only because you sub. You're not a troll, Zodiac. You know what I mean by troll. The people that, like, let's be honest. Say I were to go... Now, what she's talking about, by the way, is Skull and Bones. It's having an open beta right now. I know a ton of people are fucking playing it. I don't know why it's not coming up here. Morning there, Point Neo. Your wife just confirmed that still deep inside you are still a troll. Just digging a... Yeah. Is it on Epic? Oh, yeah, it is. It's Epic. Nah, I don't fucking care. So, you know, it's pirate-based, co-op pirate open world action RPG. So co-op, maybe it's not... Yeah, it's co-op multiplayer. Maybe it's co-op style and not as multiplayer as I thought it was. Oh, yeah. Ubisoft. Oh, Ubisoft. I mean, visually it looks great. That was fucking loud.
I knew you liked Black Flag, so that's why I saw that. It was sent to my email because of my Twitch account. So.
Hold on a second, chat. Let me fix that then, quick. Ear trumpet, where the hell are you? Yep, right here. Hold on a second. And that needs to go to... Fuck you, cat, dude. Really? It is Ubisoft, Point Neo.
This is the Indian Ocean during the second golden age of piracy, and on these waters, you will stake your claim. Skull and Bones is a gritty and immersive pirate action RPG experience, offering a rags-to-riches fantasy and a vast open world that can be experienced in solo and in co-op. In it, you will rise the ranks of the pirate world and become the most fearsome kingpin of the high seas. In this overview of Skull and Bones' gameplay experience, we'll walk you through its world, its player progression, gameplay systems, and its challenging naval combat.
Maybe.
Your story
Like I
begins
said, it
in
looks
the middle of a
good
devastating
visually.
battle on the lawless seas.
Black Flag style, yeah.
After a brutal defeat, you and other survivors find yourselves shipwrecked on a remote and perilous island. Here, you'll choose your captain and begin your new life of piracy with your first mate, Asna.
The wind favors the fearless. Let us chase it.
She will use her extensive
Oh, I'm sure
seafaring
some of this
experience
is
and knowledge of the Indian Ocean to guide you in your
not,
quest for riches and infamy. In Skull and Bones, increasing your infamy is an ongoing objective that you'll pursue. Infamy is the center of player progression. The more infamous you become,
Well, here you go. Mr. Burke Black's playing. There's your in-game graphics. So it's not far off.
the more opportunities
Actually,
open up
honestly,
across
this
the
looks
world,
worse.
allowing you to build more impressive ships, to take on riskier contracts, and to gain untold riches as you ascend the pirate ranks.
I would say the in-game graphics actually look
After
a little bit
escaping
better
the
than this
shipwreck,
video.
You will approach the Red Isle and discover the pirate den of St. Anne, which offers up a first taste of pirate culture.
Another bottom feeder washes ashore.
In St. Anne,
Yeah, I mean,
you'll
it doesn't
find
look half bad, but $60 fucking? Nope. And it's an Ubisoft game. Oh, Jesus. What a fucking muppet.
Nice. Sprinkle it everywhere.
Oh, I didn't sprinkle shit. I just fucking dumped it in a massive shit pile right in front of the place. That ain't no sprinkle. That's just a fucking... Oops.
Oops.
You wasn't able to get your company name on it?
That's coming with... Are you talking about on the side of the vehicle?
Yeah, where it says company right there.
That's not gonna happen until the next-gen vehicles. The next-gen vehicles will reflect your company name.
Oh,
Will we also get it on the clothing?
I don't know about that part. I'm always too cold, Puncher. Lack of blood flow does that, you know. So in the end, though, I would rather be too cold than too hot because I can always add more layers of clothing to warm up. You can only legally take so much off in public, and even still at home, you can walk around naked as a jaybird with the AC blasting and still not feel fucking comfortable. It won't do well. Yeah, I would say Skull and Bones is probably not gonna do as well as people expect it to. It looks decent enough, but, you know, unless I had consistent people showing up, to play with, I don't think I'd enjoy it much. Tunnels are looking good, by the way. I appreciate that. Voiceover for the female sounds so weird, does it? Yeah, like I said, I saw an initial first look at it from Burke. This was probably a month ago or more. But I mean, right now I'm really stacked with games anyway. I've got this game. I've got Empyrean still to get into. Still want to go back to Enshrouded and finish that up some. I want to go back and do some Palworld still at some point. Like, not right now, currently Point Neo. But yeah, I mean, Construction Sim, I haven't even touched that in forever. Like, I got started on it wanting to be able to do that more frequently, and then, everything else came along and I haven't touched it. So it's like, you know... Three. Gonna be Gray Zone Warfare. Yeah. That already sounds like it's definitely out of my out of mine. I don't do the shooters or anything like that anymore. You know, if it's meant for more of a multiplayer thing. I used to enjoy doing like Battlefield, Call of Duty campaigns. But what are those? Nowadays, you know, everything's just freaking all about freaking multiplayer. Screw that shit. Can eventually create and pavement. You can put down concrete, but the problem is it's rigid blocks. So you can't, you're very limited in the slopes and layment of those concrete blocks. You also can't really do corners and downward slopes and stuff like that with them the greatest. Everything has to be squared off. So you have a lot of limitations with using the blocks for your ground. Now, I do know they want to add some form of like a pavement machine later, but right now you can't really lay pavement per se. There is, with this last update, the ability to put items on your hotbar. Like, I can come in here, I can grab this dirt and this gravel, and like, say I do this here real quick, I can do this, I can do this. I could walk over here and start placing this on the ground so it's got a gravel look. Or I could do it with coal to give it a coal look. You know, and then basically you just roll this flat and you'd have a gravel look on your floor, on your ground. Or you can use coal, which kind of looks like asphalt.
That's what I'm going for. It's It has a nice look to it.
It does. I've used coal in the past. So, I mean, there is a way, so to speak, of making roads. It's just not as intuitive as having, here's a paver, let me go out and lay a nice, flat, smooth road. That's not available yet. And I will say yet because it has been mentioned. Christian likes the idea, but they haven't implemented it yet. And how that would work or look, I have no idea. You know, is it going to be a traditional, like, paver that you're going to fill and lay out of line? Split has talked about using an entirely different system. Machines for making road lines. Split has talked about basically it would be like a spline tool. You would drive it a certain ways, and when it was done, it would snap a line down and then terraform the ground to be all nice and smooth underneath it with the new texture. I don't know if that's what's going to end up happening, if it'll be vastly different than that. You know, who knows what it'll look like. I know right now one of the big focuses is the next generation vehicles and the breakdowns and multiplayer. What comes after that is anyone's guess. I'm not saying that's the next 2 patches, or it could be the next 4 patches for those 2 things for all I know. Who knows? But I know Christian's kind of focused more on the multiplayer part right now. And getting the breakdown part in. So who knows? Put him down. Yep, I just upgraded it this little while ago, actually, Point Neo. I went to the 500. So she got a bit of an upgrade. Now we need to get the money for a dump truck upgrade. Because the current one is now very small in relation to this. And then basically this one I will keep moving forward because it's going to end up being used on a majority of projects. Like, let's be honest, if I have to go clear a house lot, because that's what you guys... well, I do have a dozer, it's just back there in the fog, and it's a small one. We have this dozer here, the Sheridan 400. I've got that already. I don't have the really big one, but I do have one of those. I've been using it. I actually used it at the start of this project when I was carving the hillside down. So yeah, I've got a dozer. Next up on the list though is definitely an excavator, which is around $300,000, about $350 for the 500 or the 530. Which again, you know, is one of those ones that I'll always have, even if I upgrade later, because of the objectives of this save. Basically, I'm going to be construction simming out of ore. This here is a community voted project. Once it's complete, we'll be on to the next community voted project. So I'm kind of working my way through those projects that are community voted as a way of keeping things interesting. What's the boon on the excavator? What do you mean the boon on it? Oh, how long is the arm on it? I don't know an exact length on it. I've never measured how long it is. It's got a fairly decent dig depth. The 530 can go down, I'd say probably at least 8 meters. It's certainly not like a long reach, but I'd say 6 to 8 meters anyway. Yeah, it's definitely not a long reach, but it's got to be at least like 24 feet ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, we're pushing right along with this tunnel project. As you can see, now that we've gotten the upgraded loader, we're really moving into it. Hopefully today we can get through the other side on this tunnel project. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. And I do have a significant amount of money smelting currently, or well, not all smelting, but I do have a significant amount of material at the base in process. I'll be able to start making a lot more concrete blocks for sure. From turtle heading the other end. We're probably 40% of the way through, I would say. I mean, you can see how far in we are at the moment. We are... When you look at the... You look at this here. You see this slightly darker patch right here on the edge of the hill? Right here. That spot right there, that's the coal vein that we're going through at the moment. And we've basically passed it. So we're already to here. We're already to right here. And we're poking out right over there. Now this is deceptive. It goes up a lot slower than it drops down on the other side. You know, this side is a lot steeper than that side. So we're going to be coming out right about where that rock is, right here, center of screen. This is where we're going to be poking out right here. So this is where we're coming out, is going to be right here underneath where this bush is. And we're already to right here. We started way back here, essentially. And we're already to here. We should get out of it today. The big thing is going to be... The big thing I've got to look at... There we go. Get rid of that spot. You see, I'm going to have to blast a little bit here to get the wall in as we go further forward. Not a big deal. I've got to shift this back some. I actually kind of like having the material stick through in some places. Because true to a wooden mine, that's how it'd look. So, you know, we're progressing along pretty good. I'm about to have to put in another one of these. The big thing we have to measure is the height of the opening here versus where that's going to pop out on the other end. Because this end started lower than the other end will be. So what I need to do, the best way to check it is we're about a half a block less than grade here, right? I have watched Oak Island, but not in a long time. Mr. Tatico coming in with a raid. Welcome in, everybody. How was your stream there, Tatico? What were you
It
up
was
to?
nice. I was able to put up the fuel station,
1, 2,
so to say.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. 18 is right there. Get up the hill. 19. That's 20 blocks high from the... We're basically 19 and a half blocks up to here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. $16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, as you can see, this is a problem because we would end up, if this is the top here, we need to be 4 blocks up when we exit the tunnel here. So I think from the point I'm at, we need to start going up inside the tunnel and getting to a taller point. Crafting at the base is getting me some XP. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to exit and we're going to be still in the frickin' ground right here. So we've got 1 height worth of ground here. We need to go up 1, 2, 3 blocks at least. So if we look at that as going up 3 blocks, we need to pick a spot and start climbing up in height. Yeah, broken leg, you're dead. Now, granted, that's not exactly accurate as to where we're going to poke out because I'm not on grid. You see, this is grid. We're a little off grid with how we're going through. Otherwise, it would make life really easy for us. But I think what we're going to do... We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here is going to be our next... We need to dig up right here. Starting right there. Alright there, Tatico. You take care, good buddy. So yeah, we need to start digging up 1 block height from where we are at the end of that. Got your 1650, it's broken and cutting bulk mode too much. I've heard that the 1650 and the 2350, or the 1660 and the 2350, they're cutting like insanely quick. I have heard that. Are you what, driving over the mountain, you mean? Yeah, I can't physically get over it. I mean, I probably could, but in reality, would you ever take a piece of equipment up over that? No. Not without cutting a road. So, our version of cutting the road is just to dig the tunnel. You're not the first person to ask that. A lot of people say, well, why don't you start from the inside because if it's higher and come out this end? And it's like, well, I can't accurately get my machines there without cutting an access road up over and back down the other side. And if I do that, what's the point then of carving the tunnel if I've got the road up and over? Wouldn't make much sense. Here's what we're actually going to do here. One way to do it. Do your remerging. Okay, we'll let that remerge. That gives us our height to go up a block with the next support. Yeah, part of this project was always the intention of putting the tunnel in anyway. That's kind of how I had pitched this. You know, do a tunnel, do this. And actually it really works to help us with the tunnel because we're getting the gravel we need to start making our concrete. Because they added that in this last patch. I can no longer buy the cement, so we have to make it. And without having access to gravel, well, that's going to put a big damper on any projects moving forward. So, you know, this works. Army Corps once thought into a new weaponized nuke to Carpass. You mean the plowshare? You mean the plowshare? That? Yeah, it's in the game. What up, Fern Dog? How you doing? It detonates in a 35-meter radius. Well, about 32-meter radius. So 74-meter diameter, 64-meter. Everything's gone. It's well, no, it is 35-meter radius. 70-meter diameter. Everything's just gone. Doing all right, Fern Dog. Doing all right. We're digging a tunnel. Yep, he's got that in the game. Because the name of that Army Corps of Engineers was Operation Plowshare. So the explosive is called a plowshare. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to save it. This blue or black. I'm gonna back up over this one too. I'm gonna set one off as a testing device. Yeah, well, the developer of this game, Christian from North Modding Company, is a real-life heavy equipment operator. So he designed he built this game because him and his friends wanted a mining game. Do, 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 do. Fire in a hole. It's a big 2D image. It would be nice if that were, but
I did that earlier. I had to start a new game because of it.
well, that poked right out the fucking ceiling of the building.
Shit, that's exactly what mine did. It looks like a meteor crater.
Yeah, no, Cope, I set one off inside the fucking hill. At the end of my tunnel, I just set one off inside the tunnel, Cope.
Oh. Sorry, I was doing my game and kind of glancing over at the same time.
Yeah, somebody had asked about it, so I was showing them. I saved beforehand, so I'll just reload. I don't give a shit, but yeah. How's it going there, Mr.
Oh,
Ted
yeah.
Crew? Mountain? What mountain?
I hope you ain't got your save on.
Doesn't matter. I did a double save. So, I mean, we're there. We're coming out there. We're not that far off, really. If you think about it.
Well, that's a good way to know
Ba-
if
ba-
your tunnel's
basically-
straight.
Basically, if I double the length of my tunnel, yeah. If I double the length of my tunnel, we're there. So, you know, I love that they put that, they just boom. Now, the only way I will ever use that actually on this save is should chat vote for it if it comes up. I will not actually do that to clear anything, but you never know. How you doing there, Mr. Dagel Crew? I don't think I actually have any moderators at the moment, so let me get a shout out, Mr. Dagel Crew. Cope TV
I would,
Gaming.
Darius, but my hands are shaking so
Shout
bad.
out Tatico. Sir Welshie, how you doing this morning? Martin Chev, yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Thank you, Darius.
Special way to check, yeah. Hey, you know, give it a quick save and kablamo. Am I on target? Yes, I'm on target. That's one way to check it. We're on target, chat. They made that to cut through the rocky granite, but decided not to use it. I wonder why. Well, yeah, the idea was exploring the option of using a low-yield nuclear device for clearing hard rock for aquifer projects, dam projects, and so on. And, well, you know, of course, if you tried to detonate it underground, bad things are going to happen. But, you know, it's still pretty cool, and Christian actually has it dialed to about the diameter of the blast that actually came from using that device. So, believe it or not, Christian's, I mean, he's keeping things pretty true to real life with this, which is pretty, you know, that's the awesome part. Fallout is fun. Well, yeah, then there's that part of it too. When I was reading up on it, because somebody had mentioned that it was an actual thing, and I was like, bullshit. So I Googled it, and, well, I was wrong. I'll admit it, I was wrong. We only got 2 people over there on YouTube right now. But, yeah, it's like, yeah, the Aquifer projects, Fallout, I don't think y'all thought that through too well.
How cool would it be if he put in, like, when it's raining, the ground gets wet?
It already is able to be done.
Yeah, but he hasn't put it in yet.
Yeah, he's not planning to until Unreal 5, because if you did that, it would destroy computers. Unreal 4 isn't optimized for it. But
that would be pretty cool, though, wouldn't it?
As far as I've heard, he plans on doing it when Unreal 5 comes into play.
That's going to be wild.
The snow will accumulate on the ground, the water will puddle up.
Oh, we're going to have
Yeah.
snow and everything, too?
Yeah.
Cool.
Again, he could do it now. All you have to do is check it to, you know, tell it to happen when it happens. Seasons have been discussed. Hey, Nukes Toy. Good morning to you as well. I've heard discussion.
There's no seasons on mining, is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's winter. You know, in the winter you can get froze out, stuff like that. Absolutely. But just seasonal changes and stuff like that. So it would only snow in the wintertime. It would only rain during the spring and summer and fall. You know, that type of deal.
Okay.
You can do all that for sure. So, now whether they fully implement all of that or all, you know, who knows? But I know it's been discussed. Yeah, Joe Cruz says, "What up, Cope? Mud sludge with ground frozen is a hell." Yeah. Now, you know, whether they go the whole SnowRunner route, I doubt. But, I mean, I'll never say never to a developer this early on in the process, because, you know, we don't know what's going to come. I bet you Christian doesn't even fully know the extent of what's going to come into this game at this point. He's probably got a vision in his head of, I'd like to do this, 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 and this. And who knows what's going to happen along the way. Maybe when he goes to Unreal 5, something breaks wide open and, you know, it creates new ideas. Yeah, they've got rippers on the dozers. You can actually use the rippers to go through the solid rock that I'm dealing with right now. If you're on top, as I say, I had a large open cut and I hit ground, solid ground, I could use the rippers on the dozer to break the rock and then be able to dig it. I believe the plan point, Neo, is Unreal 5.3, go the full way. Because one of the things that's coming to Unreal 5 is the Voxel Plugin Pro 2. I heard Split talking about it. That's basically the next generation of this voxel plugin that does all of this dirt, and it's actually better optimized. Well, what are you talking about? The Ripper on the Dozer? Oh, voxel in Unreal 5? It all depends on how it's implemented. One of the things, like the Voxel plugin Pro right now, it is limited in what it can handle. It's one of the reasons the game engine lags in Unreal 4 or 5 in trying to calculate all the little voxels, the little instances of dirt. But there is a next version of that coming that is supposed to be far more optimized and far better for doing that. So you can use a rock hammer. Yes, there is one of those in the game. If you go under the equipment, vehicles, attachments, you have a B, M, or S. So small, medium, big hammer for the excavators. You'll look, some of these, like this here is an EXB attacher. This is an EXB attacher, EXS, EXM. As long as you match it up, yes, you can use a rock hammer with a wheel loader. Or not a wheel loader, an excavator. You can do that in the game if you want to. But yeah, you would typically use a rock breaker over a dozer. But keep in mind, when doing placer mining up in the Klondike, once they hit bedrock, they'll actually rip it, a couple passes and scratch out the top couple feet of bedrock, because there's still cracks and fractures in that top bedrock where gold can sink into it. So they will rip that to a degree. Now, granted, you're not going to go nuts ripping it. There's limits. There's limits to what can be done with a dozer and a ripper. Absolutely, don't get me wrong. There's tons of limits there. Shit. But they would to an extent do that, ripping the ground to get the top little bit of surface gold out. So, do they do it? Yes, to an extent. Would they do it, 20 feet down into bedrock? No. They would be using explosives to fracture. They would be using drills and and things like that to place explosives into the ground. So ultimately, it's up to you, the player, how you simulate it. At some point we will be getting into mining in that manner, because I'm going to need a shit ton of concrete and gravel and things like that. So, eventually we'll be in that regardless. Mr. Big Vito 109 coming in with a stretch. So we'll be there and a hydrate. It's just a matter of what we decide to do for fracturing it to dig it. But right now, I mean, I don't have a pit big enough to deal with that kind of to deal with that nature. This is the first time I've encountered solid ground, and because we're going through a tunnel, of course, I'm doing it as a, you know, we're blasting. But the whole purpose of this playthrough is to try and simulate building a mining town. That's what ended up happening. Originally, it was going to start off, we were going to do a giant open pit mine, manufacture products, sell them off, yada, yada, yada. There is no, I mean, there's no actual oil fields. The title of is meant for the project we're working on. Which I'll explain a little more of for those just joining that aren't familiar. So, Split 2 is the one that gave me the idea. You know, obviously watching me just dig and dig and dig gets old. I get it. You know, I understand that. It's going to get old after a while. And I want to keep things interesting for both me and you, the viewer. So, how do I go about doing that? Well, let's challenge it. Come up with something. Split is making a massive dam. So, well, I'll get to that point, Neil. What do we do to give a goal to accomplish, to work towards, to see that progression? And I didn't want to do a dam because Split's already doing one. So how about, you know, what else is there out there? You know, a major bridge project or something or another. Who knows? You know, I kind of put it to chat, and Dragonfire Express, credit where it's due, suggested building a mining town. Now, yes, we're the only ones here, so there's no other NPCs or anything like that. We'll have to use our imagination. But we're building a mining town to, you know, the infrastructure and stuff for it. The first thing that came up was we had to pick a factory site. Where's factory? You know, where's home gonna be? Well, we'll come up with that, Henry, when chat votes for it. So you start to map out your way over there. And, we ended up picking, this was going to be the valley over here, where we did our mining. And need a factory to process all that material, so I picked the factory site. We started excavating for the factory site, got that done. So your factory's over here where all that red and concrete is in the bottom. You can kind of see where the foundation's laid out for it. That's going to be the factory. I say factory because we're going to drop off the material, process it, smelt it, form it into steel and wood and whatever else we need to do. There's going to be some water derricks there for making the concrete, things like that. We're doing the quest lines. The first one that came up was making a watchtower. Decided to place it there. The watchtower, well, of course, needed an access path. So you can kind of see, if I get closer, there is a path here. We carved a little path over to it. It's on concrete pads, nice and stable. So the fire watchtower's there. We needed a place to park the vehicles for the wardens, which of course we have to use imagination for right now. So here's a little parking lot for them. That was the first project after the factory. The second project, which was voted on by chat, was a road project to get access to the factory from the town. We're going to do that project originally in the process of working on that project, it was decided I'm going to split that into 2 phases. Phase 1 has been completed. Phase 2 will start when chat votes for Phase 2 to start. Because as I complete a project, you guys get to vote on the next project. So Phase 1 of the road project started from this ridge here to town. Initially, I had painted a path to go right across this valley floor, this little sloping valley floor, up into town. Well, in talking about potential projects down the line, a small airport came up, because otherwise, how do you get to this remote bit of wilderness? Small airport would be a way. And I figured this would make a perfect spot in the future for it if that project comes up. We cut this ridge off, extend out, and then, you have a little bit of a runway through here. We can put in hangar, tower, stuff like that over there. So now I can't have my road coming through here. So Phase 1 of the project was the road from that ridge to town. We brought it along this hillside. I built a bridge. There is a deco pack coming for the game in the future that will allow us to place water blocks. I'm going to have a little stream coming down this hill. And eventually we'll have to create a drainage to go past the runway so it doesn't go through the runway. So we'll have to cut a drainage ditch at that point. But I'll place water blocks under here to make it look like a little stream. We got a bridge over it. The road comes up and around to this point over here and into town. Now, down the road, things like a Walmart will come to town when you guys vote for it. Houses, the airport project, a bar, a fueling station, a maintenance shop, any other things you guys might come up. A museum is on the list. But basically, right now, this was a vote for an income property. Passive income to help us buy more equipment, buy stuff for the factory, and progress through the purchases. Because, I need mining equipment. We need a lot of other stuff to be able to get this going. So, chat voted for an income property. Income property was basically, I'm going to treat this as a small oil field inside that little bowl. You guys voted for 6 oil derricks, which at the start of each stream, we'll go swap out the barrels that are in there, fill them all up, all 6 of them, and let them go for about 2.5 hours. Well, actually 50 minutes apiece. It's like 4.5 hours that they'll run for before they empty. So, when they empty, we'll go swap them out again. It'll be about $72,000 a shot. No, there's no AI workers or anything like that, Point Neo. Yet. There's no AI workers. Multiplayer is coming, though. So when multiplayer comes, it'll be peer-to-peer. We'll work on this while I'm streaming. People can join. We'll knock out projects. Like I said, we need to build houses. There's other quests that still need to be done for a radar tower, a cell phone antenna. So obviously a cell phone antenna is going to have to go where it's got the most reach, so we'll have to cut a road, do all that stuff. Radar antenna will have to have a spot probably on this hilltop here. Eventually a bridge project from this ridge to that ridge. you know, basically spanning this gap, we'll do a bridge project. Oh, it's worth it, Fern Dog. $17 US, it's worth it. You know, so it's all going to be chat vote. You guys pick what the next project's going to be. Once we punch through and get the oil field set up over here, good to go. And what ends up happening is I get paid. Basically, I get reimbursed the costs of the materials that go in. Hey, Dragonfire Express. Things are going well. Things are going well indeed. Just giving an overview to some of the new people. But yeah, it's, as we go about this, you guys vote for what comes next. It's still vastly in development, Point Neo. Now, don't get me wrong, when you look at the Steam page, it says it's released. It doesn't list it as early access. There's a story to that. I can explain if you want. But, you know, we've got a lot of work to do. You know, this project started out, the oil fields over there, because that's where chat voted for it. So we had to carve a road down. I cut a little road down. You know, there's my dozer. I still got to finish dumping dirt on this path. When we get to the other side, we'll have more dirt. So, you know, we've got a little path. We started the tunnel. We'll come out the other side. With these projects, I'm only allowed to purchase things I can't otherwise make. So if I have to buy things, like I had to buy the oil wells and stuff like that, we get reimbursed for that stuff. Any materials I put into these projects, we get reimbursed. As, again, you know, as a way of helping progress things along. So I'll do a count on all the wood products that went into this when we're done. Things like dynamite, that's an expense, don't get reimbursed for. It's over 400, it's around 400 square kilometers, Fern Dog. Put it in Farm Sims terms, it's approximately 7 16x maps. Yeah, she big. This is one of 8 maps. So, like I said, we'll get reimbursed for all the walls, all of the blocks, the ceilings. We'll get reimbursed for that in the form of, I'll come in here, I'll look at the materials, I'll add up how many beams and planks went into all of that stuff. And I'll say, okay, if it was 1,000 beams times 220, 2,000 planks times 200, add that up, and I get 20% over that cost. Now, I am actually, because I can make those parts, I'm not buying those parts. I am, however, allowed to buy logs. So I've been buying logs. It's fictional. It's not any particular place. I buy the logs, and then we have to use the workbenches that were just added to craft that into beams and planks and walls and ceilings and all that stuff. The rock that's coming out of here is getting put into the wash plants for making cement, goes into the mixer for making concrete. I have an oil derrick for making water. We've got a steel roller and a CNC cutter for making steel parts for the factory. I've got smelters. All of this stuff is coming to, you know, is being used for making stuff. There's no set, like, this bolt, you know, this is this area. It's literally just, kind of, made up fictional areas. I don't think he's ever actually used, like, specific height maps to say, you know, this is Alaska or this is any particular place. It's just the terrain with stuff. How deep can you go? No one has reached bottom. And when I say that, Split in Two, as you know, is a tester for the game. He has dev controls. He took the plowshares and made a macro to blow up the plowshare, drop into the ground, place a plowshare, detonate the plowshare, and so on. And he detonated 3,000 of those plowshares into the ground. He never hit bottom. Now that's 35 meters apiece, times 3,000. He was still going. Yeah, holy fuck is right. So you can dig for a couple more weeks, Acid Burn. You ain't stopping. So not only is the surface of the map 400 square kilometers, you can go down pretty much infinitely. On a stream a few weeks back, I took 70 of those plowshares and detonated them straight down. And I was over 2,000 meters deep. 2,000 meters deep. And I could still keep going. Now, you see this fog? There is a fog that's kind of covers the bottom of the world, the sides of the world for the time being. It gets thick. And 2,000 meters down, I was this far away from my excavator and couldn't see it, but I saw the E to enter vehicle. RAM intensive, it's CPU intensive for sure. Just because all these little voxels. But as long as you're, you can do underground mining via like the Anfo and shit like that. As long as you're not going stupid with it and detonating, hundreds of dynamite at one time, you should be fine. Honestly. You just have to kind of find that happy point where it doesn't go nuts. If that makes sense. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Now, as you can see, I was flying around in a drone. You can set this drone up to be able to remote trigger and make time lapses. If you want to. You can go into the map. You can set the weather to whatever you want. You can set your day speed, your day length speed, your night length speeds. You can set time of day. Let's go right up in the air. Up, up, up and away. Like I said, this little spot kind of just beyond, if you imagine a straight line past the drone, that's where we're going to be putting those oil pieces, so we'll have to make a little bit of a road, flat area, yada, yada, yada. It's actually better if you go to, like, light clouds, I think, for viewing into the distance. Now, you see this point right here? That is not actually the edge of the map. If I flew in that direction, there would be more ground beyond this. Just like in that direction. It's just a mountainous area. I don't know if it's just called Minetown. He's never specified, at least as far as I know, if he used terrain data to make this or anything like that. It just is. So, like I said, that is not actually the edge of the map. if we keep going, there would be something over there. Yes, I am moving forward. But you can see how slow we're moving compared to how far the map is. In about a half hour, we could get over there probably. The ground goes beyond. I don't know specifically where we're at on the map without a GPS unit. But if you picture, I'm right here. There's the edge of the map. Where was I again? You know, I mean, like, damn. I mean, that could actually be the edge. I don't know. We might be on the northern edge of the map. Northern section of the map. Without having a GPS, I can't accurately tell you. So it could carry the, you know, it could be that the mine town, which is way over there, it could be that the mine town is on the northern edge of the, it's all workable area. And as you can see, I might have to get a little bit lower. No, right there. See right here? That's a vein of material. 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 Whoops. For a second there before the trees drew and you could see them better. But you can go anywhere on this map and find workable veins of material, diggable ground. You can, if you wanted to, you could level the map. It might take you 2 years, but you can do it. How big is the game file? Right now, my save file, I want to say, is around 8 meg, maybe a little bit more. My game file, my save file is only 5 meg. But the game itself is, I don't know, like 10 or 12 meg. Or 10 or 12 gig. Go to the fucking home, I said, you goddamn bastard. Less than 12 gig. You can customize your equipment. Did I mention that part yet? Give it a minute. I was too far away the ground. There it goes. So I can come over here and I can change paint colors. There's all kinds of different paint colors if you want to. You can change wheel types. You can change 18 positions of lights and what type of lights are on them. GPS globes can be added to your equipment. I mean, all kinds of stuff. If I come into the store here and I go under equipment, lights, all of these different lights you can buy and add to your equipment. Wheels. Actually, let's just buy this one. I just wasted a shit ton of money. Whatever. Yeah, I already had a loader tire on there. Do we go with a rock tire? Do we stick with the loader tires? Duals? I actually kind of really like those ones. The duals. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 4 tires. Fuck it. That's ridiculous. Made a shitty space game with voxel, had infinitely loading, new terrain, it was less than a gig, yeah. Yeah, whole new meaning to word, 4-wheel drive, yeah. So, I mean, you can customize stuff, and this isn't the big equipment. That is not the big equipment. That is not the big equipment. You want the big wheel loader? I'm in this guy right here. This LW2350, this has an 8-meter bucket. 8 cubic meters of material. That boy right there, the Arvik LW2350, 48 cubic meter bucket. For reference, it's the Laterno. There we go. That. It's that. Yeah, it's that. I mean, hello. Hello. You know, I mean, the just like 70-yard bucket on that loader. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, just massive, right? And then it's, the 797. Keep in mind that number right there, right? It is 867. That looks an awful lot alike. I think it's actually a Volvo one, though. If I could spell. No, it isn't. It is a cat. He's basically got the stairway going down the opposite direction, but Basically, yes, you get them about that size in the game. Hold 250 cubic meters in the bed. For reference, I would have to double the height of this to be able to fit that dump truck down through this. I would have to double the height of this tunnel to fit down there with that dump truck. It would barely fit widthwise. And that large wheel loader can basically pick this thing up in its bucket. So you can get to, I mean, really, really massive equipment. Point Neo, are you familiar with the Bagger 288 as most equipment people seem to be familiar? Bucket wheel excavator? It's planned to come to game. That thing. Wheel loader for size. Yeah, yeah. They plan on bringing it to the game. You know how I know? Ah, Tav is live this morning. Yeah. From Christian himself. Yeah, Ferndog, I know you're a farm sim guy. North Modding Company, they're the ones that made the game. That's basically a Cat 350 wheel loader with a dozer blade on it. And it's about the height of the track. Can you imagine trying to open a spot big enough for that thing? Can you imagine how big of an area you need for that to fit? But yeah, FS19, North Modding Company, the NMC Griffin, the NMC Scarrock, all the logging stuff that they added to the farming simulator. That's Christian and North Modding Company and Out of Ore. You want to come hang out in Discord and do some trucking.
What the hell y'all doing here?
Waiting for you. Yeah. Oh, but by the way, they plan on bringing logging to this game too. So you'll actually have logging equipment and be able to do more than just whack the tree and have it fall through the ground. They do plan on upgrading it to have logging equipment at some point. As far as simulations to be able to dig dirt and do all of that, this thing takes the cake for what you can do in the game.
See,
Uh,
here, but did he fall
Yeah,
asleep?
he's not. He's been up all night and well, has been kind of whacked out of it for a little bit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they.
Sure.
Yeah, you sound like
He
you're
speaks.
half asleep, so that's why I said you're whacked out of it, Chief. I didn't say you were
I'm
gone yet.
tired.
Then go to bed. Don't want to stress yourself, buddy.
I'll be right back. My recruiter for the job thing just gotta try to call me. I missed
Yep.
Good luck, bro.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot still to come to this game. They do plan on bringing it to Unreal 5. They plan on bringing coming soon to a patch near you the updated vehicles, which are going to basically be, consider this a low detail version of the wheel loader that will be coming to the game. With that, you'll have breakdowns coming to the game. We already have some of the parts available for purchase. Cables, bearings, motors, turbos, radiators, hoses, hydraulic hoses, batteries, engine control units. So we'll be able to repair these vehicles as they break down. You know, that's all to come. We now have the workbenches, which, yeah, there's a lot to still tweak on them, but they're in the game. We can play with them. We can give suggestions to refine it all. You know, it's good stuff. And I can't wait. I ordered my joysticks yesterday. I decided not to wait for the farm stick joysticks. Instead, I ordered a set of dual Thrustmaster T16000s. So, oh yeah, the excavator game. Woohoo, I can't wait, buddy. But yeah, like, I mean, I can't wait. There is so much to come to this game, and the game's already enjoyable as all can be. At some point, hopefully soon, we'll be getting a hold of that Deco pack. I think there's just an issue with it getting released on Steam at this point. But it's already showing on Steam, it just needs to be released. I think it's been tested well, I know it's been tested in game. I've seen screenshots of some of the stuff Split's done with it. Yes, this has already been blasted. When I get back in the tunnel NG, I'll show you the difference between them. Pay dirt, blasted rock, coal, and this here is solid rock. Been a really slow day over there on YouTube, but hopefully it picks up. Be going for quite a little while yet, so. I just got a bunch of solid rock that wasn't blasted yet. I could tell when I dumped the bucket. You will still, like, as you're digging alongside other material, you will still get, and pick up some of that solid rock. So you really got to be careful and make sure you're blasting it every now and then. I know, like, underground drill rigs are planned to come to the game at some point, so you could drill the face and then detonate inside of it, which I think would be cool. Let it detonate, fall down to the ground, and then scoop it back up afterwards. I think that'd be really awesome.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So I got my final interview tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Awesome. Fingers crossed for you.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
A 6090 FR. FS hydraulic shovel. Yep, they do. Front shovel. Yes, you can already, NG, to a degree. You have this drill for the EXM attachments, which will get you a 10-meter sample straight in to the ground of what's in the ground. So they do have it to a degree, but there is on the roadmap an entire prospecting update planned, which I'm sure will expand upon that greatly. So the way I'll put this point, Neo, is Christian is a heavy equipment operator that I believe works in a mine or works with mining heavy equipment. He's the one that's developing this game primarily. Hey, Bodine, welcome in, good buddy. He and the rest of the North Modding team. So, there's a lot still to come to the game. Oh, we're up to 4 people over there on YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Of course, welcome to everybody here on Twitch as well. You guys will notice today I have shut off ads. So, you guys have been pretty awesome in your support. Over my head there. So I'm gonna keep the ads off.
And they call it a mine.
Hey, Wade.
A mine!
He's trying to keep it as true to real life. I mean, within regards. I mean, it's a simulation after all. You can only do so much. The dirt's not going to operate the same way. It's not going to push the same way. It's not going to react the same way. He is doing what he can to try and get it as good as possible. But, well, yes, many of you are now subbed either by choice or gifted. Like I said, thanks to the generosity of people like Mr. Big Vito and Crisis and what have you. So,
I'll see you later today, okay?
Yep, have a good one there, Cope.
Take it easy.
All right. Y'all be good.
But because of that, the ad revenue has basically disappeared on the channel. And there's no sense in running 3 minutes of ads for everyone else if, if it's not really netting any money. Prior to it, it's I'd had some pretty significant ad revenues. But now, even with much higher average viewership, which has been, really nice to see as well. It looks like you guys are really coming out to support this game and enjoy watching it. My ad revenue went down. So how did my average go way up, viewing average, like double or in some cases triple, but my ad revenue has gone to less than a third? It's because people are subbed. So, it's like, well, if people are going to be subbed and all that, then, I'll just shut them off. So there may be pre-roll ads now, but I'm going to leave the ads off. Of course, should they get turned back on, YouTube will stay ad-free. Because I'm not monetized over there anyway. And as I'm streaming to both, you can basically get the same stream in both places. So yes, thank you very much to the community. The support is very, very greatly appreciated.
Not sure if it's my internet. It might be my internet, but it's buffering every once in a while.
Could be. Let me know if anybody else is having issues, please. No, that's one of the only reasons I stay besides you, Darius, because this game is boring.
It's a good lurking game.
Yeah, it's a good lurking game. And he put an LOL in there, so I don't know as if he's really being serious about the boring part. But like I said, that's why one of the reasons why I decided to come up with a challenge to give projects in need of completion and stuff like that. So the game's chill, it's relaxing. I enjoy the shit out of it. Bodine says it's buffering for him also. It's not showing like there's any issues with my bit rates. It could be Twitch not liking, because you remember at one point I was at 60 frames a second and Twitch wasn't liking it. Oh yeah, now I'm seeing it. YouTube's smooth as butter, but Twitch is freaking the fuck out. I might have to drop my frame rates back down.
Your bit rate?
No, frame rate. It doesn't like the 60 FPS.
Oh.
It does not like me doing 60 FPS. Because I was 60 FPS before at one point, and it freaked the hell out. And I went back to 60, and it's acting up again. Unless it's that keyframe shit. It might be the keyframe interval.
Not sure what that is, but okay.
Well, it's a how often the things go type of deal. All right, I will have to reboot the stream for that to happen. If you guys want to hang tight for just a second, I'll do that. I'm going to try dropping the frames just a little bit and see if it helps. Because I just noticed, yeah, Twitch is really skippy. YouTube, smooth as silk, but not Twitch. So I think it's not liking something. So let me stop the stream real quick, make that change. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.